Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading.
Steve Meisinger, your host for the ISE webinar series. Today we have Jason Ayres with us, and Jason's going to be talking about identifying high probability indicators for the currency markets. It's going to be really interesting. So I think we'll have a lot of insight. Jason not only knows his technical trends, he understands the options markets, and he understands what's going on globally. So I really look forward to this. Jason, of course, does the weekly outlook each and every week. So he talks about the technical trends. So I'm really pleased to have Jason with us. So without any further ado, I want to introduce Jason Ayres.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, Steve. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for joining us again, and I'm really looking forward to your presentation. I think you can just, I think you have the ball, and you'll be ready to go.
Good stuff. So just give me a second here. We're going to start sharing the presentation here, so bear with me. And again, thanks everybody for joining online. Looks like we've got a fantastic crowd here. And what we're going to do is we're more or less just going to focus on the whole technical approach to trading, and those of you, and again, a lot of familiar names online, can reinforce or back me up when I say that from I really don't, and we really don't in the office here, pay a lot of attention from a fundamental perspective. We sort of let the price charts do the talking for us. Of course, we always have our ear to the ground in terms of the different decisions, particularly when the Feds are dropping their interest rates. The one thing, of course, that we need to just draw your attention to before we move forward is, of course, that any of the examples that I'm going to be using here tonight shouldn't be construed as recommendations. And of course, if you want to learn anything more about options, there's always the 888options.com, which is the Options Industry Council, fantastic resource. And Steve, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, but if not, I'll just move forward.
Okay, it's just that's great to go to 1-888-OPTIONS or go to optionseducation.org, and they have a lot of great education. But that's it, Steve.
Good stuff. All right. So, guys, first of all, what I want to do is just take a couple of minutes and just reinforce what an FX option is, because there's a lot of people that are familiar with the FX market, spot market. There's a lot of people that are familiar with the options market. And what's great about this market is that the ISE has actually combined the power of both markets to come up with a really great tradable product. And so essentially your FX options trade similar to an equity option in the sense that you can purchase puts and calls based on your outlook on the US dollar, and ultimately create combinations using those options to help offset your risk and really sort of trade your personal outlook. Now, they trade based on an index, and I've got index under quotations because we really refer to the ISE FX options as pair values. And so when we're looking to make our trading decisions, when we do our FX options outlook, what we're doing is we're looking at a price chart that reflects the pair value of a particular of the US dollar against a particular currency. It's cash settled in U.S. dollars, which means essentially that you're not taking possession of a foreign currency. You're actually paid the difference or receive the difference in U.S. dollars within your trading account. So it's not like there's any currency conversions that have to take place. It's a very easily tradable, easy to understand market to access, and I think that's really one of the biggest strong suits of the ISE FX options is just how accessible it makes trading your outlook on the FX market. Their European exercise, and just to make it real simple, what this means essentially is that there's no underlying share value or security that is settled on this index. So at the end of the expiration cycle, which is the third Friday of the month, essentially that's when the trades are settled up if you haven't already offset your position, and it's again settled in U.S. dollars. So unlike your conventional equity options where it's American style, which means that somebody can essentially exercise or assign the underlying security, there really is no underlying security. It's an index. We're trading on the value of that index or that pair value, and we can buy and sell our options at any point during the life cycle of that. And again, Steve, I always ask for your input if you've got anything to add to that sort of explanation. It's sometimes a little stumbling block for people that aren't familiar.
No, Jason, that's perfectly clear. So these aren't securities. It's just an index. And it's as straightforward as Jason just put it. It's going to be you'll get paid based on the cash value, and that's it. So we think it's very straightforward. But you basically explained it perfectly clearly, Jason. Thanks.
Good stuff. Now, basically here, what's fantastic about this market is that the index or the pair values are based on spot market prices, which means that other than the YUK or the U.S. versus the yen, we just have a $100 multiplier. So you can simply take the spot market value of the currency, that's U.S. against U.S. as the base currency, multiply it by 100, and you have your pair value that is being reflected on the price charts that we're going to be analyzing here this afternoon. So it really makes it very easy to trade your views based on the actual spot market, because it's simply again these FX options are simply based on multiplying that spot market value in most cases by 100, other than the YUK. So really simple to follow. We're going to illustrate that in our price charts as we move forward. But some for all intents and purposes, you can apply the same option strategies, other than, of course, your covered call, because there is no underlying security here. But you can apply your straddles, your strangles, your spreads, credits, debits, that sort of thing, which is, again, they're topics for another discussion. But you can apply all of these different strategies to your FX options market. Now, we have 6 pair values that we can trade. The CDD, which is the U.S. versus the Canadian dollar. You can see the YUK there, U.S. versus the yen. We can trade our views against the euro, the pound, the Australian dollar, and the Swiss franc. So you've got your majors there. And the one thing that I try to reinforce with a lot of the folks that come through our programs, because we do talk a lot about the spot market trading, as well as that if you have a longer-term view on the value of the U.S. dollar, or on the value of any of these currencies against the U.S. dollar, even though you may be a spot market trader, these options are fantastic for taking a longer-term view, identifying your risk exposure, creating some different strategies that help lower your risk exposure, and you can still trade the spot market on a day-to-day basis versus short-term, directional moves. But bigger picture, this is a great and effective way of stepping back and saying, okay, longer term, I think the U.S. dollar's going up against the the euro, or down, or what have you. You could put something like this in place for a couple of months and recognize that you have a limited risk exposure for that time frame. Now, these symbols that we have highlighted here, the CDD, YUK, EUI, BPX, and so on, these are the symbols that you'll actually use and can access through most standardized brokerage accounts. Now you'll see here that down on the bottom of the chart here, we've got just a little note here that you can actually view the underlying rates at Big Charts, Bloomberg, ILX, Reuters, and Yahoo Finance. So if you're somebody that maybe doesn't have a specific broker right away, but just wants to go in and start tracking some of these, there's a lot of free services out there that you can access that have great information and up-to-date charting and that sort of thing of these currency pairs.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.isc.com/podcasts.